Foremen and contractors from the region being taught techniques for constructing safer residential buildings. Fire and prison officers have been equipped with leadership and management skills, and the Ministry of Education addressed poor mathematics performance with training for primary school teachers. Hello and thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I am Tarnia Green.
And I'm Mervin Matthews. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others after the break.
Listen closely and you will hear what climate change might sound like. Hurricanes getting stronger and more frequent. Glaciers melting, causing a rise in sea levels. Dry bush burning after a prolonged drought left the bushes vulnerable to fires.
What? No water again?
But listen closely again and you will hear the solutions. People switching to energy-saving light bulbs. People building stronger homes that can withstand hurricane force winds. Our climate may be changing, but so can we. Making small changes together can have a huge effect on reducing the impacts of climate change. Act now. Rally, rethink, respond. This message is brought to you by the OECS Secretariat with funded assistance from USAID.
Documentaries and in-depth discussions, community walkthroughs, and Yes We Care. See it all on GIS Channel 7.
Welcome back, viewers. Time now for the details of the news. Fire and prison officers are now equipped with skills which will assist them in making the transition from entry-level officers to supervisory-level officers much easier. Last week, a number of officers from both departments participated in a 3-day leadership and management training workshop. The workshop was the latest in a string of capacity-building programs designed to arm them with the requisite knowledge that would ensure service delivery and operational efficiency. Chief Fire Officer Josiah Dupee, in addressing a certificate presentation ceremony at the Office of Disaster Management last Friday, told personnel under his command that they should now view themselves as agents of change.
See yourself as an agent of change in your unit. See yourself as an agent of change at your station. See yourself, most importantly, as an agent of change in the fire service. And change can begin with one person. As you live here, I charge you with the responsibility of change. And if you take that responsibility, I am very certain that we are going to have a much better fire service. We are going to have a much more vibrant prison service. I am certain that in 5-7 years, we are going to have a seriously different public service. So take this charge, lay hold on it, and go out back to your workplaces and execute it.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security, Nicholas Bruno, shared similar sentiments with the Chief Fire Officer. He emphasized the importance of the prison and fire officers applying the new skills within the public service.
Whatever little bit of knowledge we obtain during this exercise, that is applied to the service that we provide. It's applied in the workplace. Without applying the knowledge in the workplace, we are basically wasting government resources. We are wasting the facilitator's time, we are wasting our time. Too often, we see training as a day off, a day where we go relax, we sit down, we have a few laughs, ready to care what Mr. Williams say on the board, or even though we care, we forget that it must be applied in the workplace. And I'm not belittling anybody, I'm not belittling the exercise we do. It's my way of trying to emphasize it's only important if we apply it.
The training exercise was done in collaboration with the Office of Disaster Management. Joining me on the set now to discuss more about the Leadership and Management Training Workshop is the Acting Deputy Fire Chief, Mr. Anthony Williams. Mr. Williams, thank you very much for joining us on the set of the Government Information Service.
You're welcome, Ms. Green.
Yes, so I understand that you were the main facilitator at the Leadership and Management Training Workshop. Talk to us about some of the areas that the workshop focused on.
Basically, the workshop focused on building a better workplace. Leadership and management, building a better workplace, because we want people to be comfortable where they work and to have them understand that they can make a contribution to the development of the workplace.
So what are some of the main areas that you focused on? I know it was a leadership and management training workshop, but what are some of the subjects?
We looked at leadership, we looked at building a better workplace, we looked at performance appraisal, and having looked at performance appraisal, we had the officers to do a practical exercise in terms of writing the appraisal itself. So at the end of the reporting year, all our appraisals would have been in and would have no difficulties from other junior employees complaining about late appraisal forms.
Another interesting subject that a lot of departments are struggling with is that of report writing. Did the training focus on that area at all?
Yes, we did report writing, customer service, exercise planning. We also focused on communication, which is of paramount importance, because one of the key elements of the organization in terms of keeping it together is effective communication.
How many officers participated in this training?
We had approximately 20 officers, including 2 from the prison service.
Okay, so these officers are now better equipped to go back to their workplaces and be more effective.
Certainly, and we expect them from the workshop that when they return to their workplace, they would implement some of the activities or procedures that they learned at the workshop.
It's my understanding as well that some of the officers may be going off on retirement. Some of them may be moving on to other, engagements. How do you see this training complementing the fact that persons may be leaving to go to other,
basically, some of our senior officers will be leaving soon. So in order that you keep the department going, your succession plan is in order, then you need to train the lower ranks to come up to take positions, so that when the time comes for them to take position, they will be already prepared for that.
So they are better prepared now to make the transition much more easier.
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm hoping that this is not just a one-shot training program. Can we see continuity in this?
Yes, we will, because from discussion with some of the officers, it is anticipated that we should do that very same program again with the very same team of officers. But we want to go a little beyond that, above and below. So below this the last targeted group, we want to go to other junior people. So you can pass that information on to them. So by the time they get to the supervisory level, they are already advanced.
Okay, all right. Anthony Williams, the Acting Deputy Fire Chief, talking to us about a leadership and management training program which took place here last week.
In more news, the Operation Youthquake last Friday received a significant amount of furniture, appliances and equipment that will go towards the daily operations at that institution. The OECS Secretariat and USAID collaborated to develop the Juvenile Justice Reform Project, which caters to juveniles within the OECS. Discussions between the two entities concluded that children and youth were a priority group deserving of support. The Juvenile Justice Program was launched in Dominica in 2012. Esther Thomas gave a brief overview of the project.
The OECS Secretariat, on behalf and with the agreement of the relevant member states, enter into an agreement with USAID to implement the project, which seeks to strengthen juvenile justice systems in all 6 independent countries of the OECS through appropriate measures applied both nationally as well as sub-regionally. The agreement is being supported with funding from the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative and represents the new paradigm for the U.S. government cooperation with the Caribbean on matters relating to citizen safety and security. USAID is contributing US $5.8 million in support of the agreement, which is to be executed between 2011 and 2014. Now, the US $5.8 million is for the overall OECS countries and not specific to Dominica.
She says this support project is to ensure that young people are taken care of.
All of this support is aimed at ensuring that the OYQ, the residents that they take in, they are properly cared for. The programs that they do enhance their well-being. And indeed, we can see these children do not necessarily remain in this residence, but they are returned to their families to continue living a healthy life within society.
Honorable Gloria Shillingford, Minister for Social Services, in her address expressed her gratitude to the OECS and USAID for the donation and applauded the Operation Youthquake for their work with Dominica's youth and urged the residents of the Operation Youthquake to make the best use of the gift they received.
This donation would not have materialized without the fullest cooperation and collaboration between Operation Youthquake and the Ministry of Social Services. I take the opportunity to congratulate the manager and staff of OYQ for this collaboration. I also embrace the opportunity to applaud the efforts which the OYQ is making towards the preservation of Dominica's misguided youth.
The Social Services Minister noted that this donation will improve the quality of life at the Operation Youthquake and assist in the implementation of new skills for the youth.
This timely handing over of the furniture and equipment will enable your institution to enhance its operations and become more effective and efficient in the diversion and rehabilitation of juveniles at risk in Dominica. The availability of necessary equipment will improve the quality of life for residents of the institution and also make possible the implementation of new skills programs for the young persons there.
OECS Commissioner His Excellency Felix Gregoire expressed his delight and gratitude in the efforts of the Operation Youthquake.
As a Dominican, I'm happy that the OECS and USAID were able to provide the funding for the furniture and the equipment for the Operation Youthquake. But I'd like to thank and congratulate the Operation Youthquake for the tremendous work that the organization has been doing for the last 34 years. And we heard the manager explaining some of the difficulties he's been having. But I must say you've been having results, and I am very happy at the ambience here at the Operation Youthquake. The place is well landscaped and looking quite neat, and that's an indication of the pride that you have in your work.
Under this initiative, Chances also benefited from 2 laptops, and the social center is next on the list to receive its supplies. A training program for staff at the Operation Youthquake also forms part of the project. Lennox Abraham, manager of Operation Youthquake, says the institution has been dedicated to assisting Dominica's young people since its inception.
So far, Operation Youthquake has played its part. We continue to commit OYQ to safeguarding our juveniles from going to the state prison by continuing to offer them residence with the assistance of the Social Welfare Department, the Drug Abuse Unit, FOTA, and all other stakeholders in this venture.
The project is supported by the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative and came into effect on October 2011. It is expected to last until September 2014.
In other news, as part of activities marking Health and Safety Month, PDV Caribe Dominica last Friday staged its first ever Health and Safety Exposition under the theme, Safety is an Obligation, Not an Option. The exposition, staged at the Public Service Union building, was conceptualized to educate the public, increase awareness, and encourage the business public to practice healthy and safety habits. PDV Caribe Dominica, through the exposition, partnered with a number of business entities in bringing greater awareness of the need to incorporate health and safety practices in the workplace.
This event brings together the various organizations here in Dominica who offer health and safety products and services, and gives the opportunity to these organizations and the public to be part of this very important event. We hope that by the end of this exercise, we would have created a heightened awareness around the best practices of health and safety, and we would have gained more partners in health and safety, as well as we would have created a much safer business environment here in Dominica.
This is the second consecutive year that the company is observing Health and Safety Month. Sales and Marketing Manager at PDV Caribe Dominica Limited, Ian Pinard, says this initiative is part of the company's social mission.
Distributing petroleum product is our core business, but our purpose goes beyond the distribution of petroleum products. At heart, we're a service company, we're an oil company with a social conscience and a social mission. The mission of improving the quality of life of Dominicans.
Mr. Pinard noted that the Health and Exposition, which will become an annual one, is designed to strengthen the safety culture in Dominica.
Safety is a top priority for us, and we want to make it clear, and we want to make that clear. That is why our objective is to strengthen the safety culture in and around our facility and promote that safety culture in the entire country. And that is the specific aim that we are here for being here today. How do we strengthen our safety culture? By taking preventative action, by stopping harmful events long before they happen.
Other companies partnering in the initiative included Domlec, Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, DASPA, Colgate Palmolive, and Dowasco. 18 government agencies, including the Dominica Red Cross, the Dominica Fire and Ambulance Service, the Dominica Police Force, and the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation, participated in the exposition.
Mathematics teachers from the lower grades of primary schools began a three-day training workshop on Monday at the Public Service Training Center. The purpose of the training is to improve the competency of teachers in teaching the subject. Chief Education Officer Stevenson Hyacinth says there has been a noticeable trend that students are not doing as well as they should in mathematics. Mr. Hyacinth is hoping that this week's training will enhance the mathematical skills of teachers.
As a ministry, we place a lot of focus on the development of mathematics skills. Developing the mathematical skills of all our students at both primary and secondary school is a major priority of the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development. And I dare say that it is so not only in Dominica, but across the Caribbean. A large number of our students are reaching grade 6 level and they are unable to compute. We have also seen the same happening at secondary schools, and the CXC results reflect this trend. As a ministry, we are determined to change this picture around.
For many students, mathematics has been seen as a difficult subject area, with only a selective few performing exceptionally well. Mr. Hyacinth says teachers must challenge themselves to do more so that students can better excel at mathematics.
Our challenge is to ensure that all our students who move through our schools are able to be numerate, in that they're able to do mathematical problems and enjoy mathematics. We are focusing at both the primary and secondary schools to ensure that. Our goals at the primary school level is to ensure that all our students are both literate and numerate, to ensure a seamless transition to secondary school.
Meanwhile, Senior Education Officer in the Measurement and Evaluation Unit of the Ministry of Education, Nicholas Goldberg, stated that the majority of students are learning mathematics below the grade level.
When we do the grade 2 and the grade 4 national assessments, what we find is only about 30 to 40% are working at or above grade level. The vast majority of children are one grade below their level. And of course, this is a tremendous problem, because the difference tends to widen as the children get older.
The Chief Education Officer has encouraged the teachers to be innovative and creative in teaching the subject of mathematics.
We want to encourage you to continue to be creative and innovative teachers. Continue to be active participants in the whole teaching and learning process. Always seek to remain current and to enhance your ability to teach children with learning difficulties. I encourage you as teachers to be innovative and creative, because it is your ability to promote creativity and innovation in your day-to-day intervention and relationship with students that will enable them to think outside the box, to be critical thinkers, to be problem solvers, to have an appreciation, a greater appreciation for mathematics.
Education Minister Honorable Peter Saint-Jean also addressed the opening ceremony of the mathematics workshop. GIS News will bring you excerpts of his presentation in Tuesday's newscast.
And the All States University School of Medicine on Saturday held its 18th White Coat ceremony. At that ceremony, 15 medical students were formally donned in their white coats, marking their transition from the study of preclinical to clinical health sciences. The white coat is the attire physicians have traditionally worn for over 100 years and other health professions have adopted. Valedictorian Donna Dodds, in her address to her colleagues, described her journey in the medical field so far as challenging but attainable.
You have to keep focused, be prepared, and don't quit. I believe the key is to keep our eyes on the goal and never lose sight of it. If you want something, give it all you've got. And what happens when the road you're trudging seems all uphill? Make no mistake, the road to success is a long and challenging one, and no one has gone through it without proclaiming its obvious difficulties. But don't let such things intimidate you. Use every obstacle on this journey strategically to prepare you both physically and mentally for the next milestone ahead.
Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, also addressed Saturday's ceremony. He used the opportunity to remind the medical students of the importance of their roles in an increasingly challenging world.
You indeed are embarking on an amazing, an incredible, and an important journey that will broaden your horizons, deepen your thinking, and add vast amounts to your storehouse of knowledge. This ceremony is intended to impress upon you the importance of the honorable profession that you have decided to join. You are entering into a contract in which you accept the obligations inherent in the practice of medicine.
In more news, 25 foremen and contractors from the CARICOM region are being taught techniques for constructing safer residential buildings. The one-week course began on Monday at the Bafa State campus of the Dominica State College. This is the 4th year that the college is delivering this program, but it's the first time it will deliver the course to a mix of regional construction practitioners.
The Safer Building course is a flagship course for us in the Department of Continuing Education, because we believe we are sending a strong message to all of us in the region that safer building is critical for our continuous development. As we think of the amount of money we spend whenever we are struck by natural disasters, and to think that there are ways, there are systems, there are processes by which we can minimize such costs, we think it's a great program to participate in.
The Safer Buildings course covers various aspects of building from foundation to roof and includes pre-construction planning and post-construction maintenance. President of the college, Dr. Donald Peters, in his address at the official opening ceremony on Monday, said the program was particularly important in light of the evident impact of climate change on countries globally.
As we read about disasters almost every day, the whole phenomenon of climate change has shifted the paradigm so that there are a lot of unexpected disasters within the region and within the globe. As contractors, maybe in the 50s, 40s, you could build a house safely on 4 blocks and figure it would stay. But now, in a very safe, dry area, next thing it becomes a flooding area because rain is falling at different times. So as a college and as a country, we need to adjust our construction methodology. We need to adjust our construction savvy in order to build safer houses for the event of disasters.
The DSC is delivering the building course in association with the Dominica Office of Disaster Management with financial support from the Caribbean Disaster and Emergency Management Agency, SIDEMA. Steve Joseph represented the Office of Disaster Management at Monday's ceremony. He noted that the course supports the ODM's comprehensive disaster management strategy.
Comprehensive disaster management encourages us to focus on all peoples, on all hazards, at all phases of the disaster management cycle, which means preparedness, mitigation, response, and recovery. The challenge is that continually we spend too much money and resources on recovery. And so this proactive intervention on preparedness and mitigation and building partnerships, the Construction Builders Association and you, the people with the technical expertise, are critical in this process.
Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, Honorable Peter Seja, advised the regional builders to pay attention to safety and security on their work sites.
What you do in the construction industry, and of course housing is a very significant component of the infrastructure of a country. And what you do determines how safe and secure the people of the country are. And safety and security will in turn determine productivity in any economy.
And finally, this news time, work is nearing completion on the Woodford Hill playing field. Member of Parliament for the Wesley constituency, Honourable Gloria Shillingford, told GIS News last week that the project should be completed in 1 month.
Work to the tune of $60,000 has to be done. Some is done already, as you can see, and we are waiting for the field to be now sanded and grassed. And you see, we have not forgotten the young people. Many of them say to me, Miss, all we want is a playing field, and then you don't even have anything to do again. And that is what we are going to give to them.
And that's the English segment of the news. Stay tuned for the tip of the day.
Listen closely and you will hear what climate change might sound like.
$30 for a hand of bananas?
Severe drought could destroy banana plants and drive food prices up.
And now we can see the dead coral reef below us.
Dead coral? I thought it was alive.
No, it's dead. If you look at the pictures, you can see what the coral used to look like.
Oh, wow.
Natural wonders like coral reefs are disappearing. But listen closely again, and you can hear the solution. People disposing of garbage responsibly and not in drains and rivers. People responsibly discarding engine oil. Our climate may be changing, but so can we. Making small changes together can have a huge effect on reducing the impacts of climate change. Act now. Rally, rethink, respond. This message is brought to you by the OECS Secretariat with funded assistance from USAID.
Documentaries and in-depth discussions, community walkthroughs, and Yes We Care. See it all on GIS Channel 7. Channel 7. Channel 7. Channel 7.
Unleash a full attack on heart disease. A recent study found that by watching your weight, not smoking, walking every day, and eating your fruits, veggies, and grains, you can reduce your risk of heart disease by 78%. In fact, following just one of those rules will have a positive impact on your health. But why aim so low? Go for the gold and make all 4 part of your daily routine and be healthy as you can be. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm.
On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green.
And I'm Mervin Matthew. Thank you so much for watching.